Good Time Gaming.
What's up, guys? It's Axiom with Good Time Gaming, and we have come to the end of Fallout 4. Now, obviously, I haven't done all the side quests and all that stuff yet, but in terms of the story and what we're trying to do here as the last survivor of our lovely vault, it's over at this point. So we're back at the Institute. Sean wants to have a little conversation with me and talk to me a little bit. I believe this is the point where he passes away and hands over the Institute to me.
Hello, Sean.
So let's see what happens here.
There you are. I've already heard the news. But of course you wouldn't be here if it weren't a success.
Yeah, we destroyed the Brotherhood of
I'm
Steel.
glad it worked, but
Fucked them up.
I'm glad you're safe.
Are you comfortable?
It's good of you to ask. I'm fine.
He has like some sort of a
Don't worry
cancer, I
about
think
me.
is what it is. If I remember correctly. I don't know. He's dying either way.
Take care of the Institute. Take care of its people. They're good people. You know that. Allie has always been loyal to the Institute. And to me. You can rely on her for help. Once I'm gone, it's all up to you.
Yes, it is.
There's got to be something more we can do for you.
No, this is what I want. It's all right. Don't worry about it.
It's pretty sad. I mean, for a man that's like barely human in terms of how he talks and acts and stuff, this is a really human moment for Father and for our player character.
Strange, hasn't it? I spent years wondering what you were like. Thinking about all we missed out on. I want you to know that I'm grateful for the time we've had.
I'm glad I found you.
As am I.
Damn.
Thank you,
Right in the feels.
Father. You've helped a boy achieve his dreams. I think
Now, of course, the dreams would be a lot different if
I'd like to sleep.
if he'd never been taken out of the vault. So yeah. Oh, we got credits. Credits. I know what's this.
I've lost Sean. All over again. I close my eyes. I see my life before all of this.
This would be absolutely terrifying. I mean, think about this. Like, if you went to sleep one day
Everything
and the world was as it is now, and then you wake up like what seems like not that long later on, and it's all falling apart to shit. That'd be terrifying. I'd be dead by now.
This wasn't the world I wanted, but it was the one I found myself in. The Commonwealth.
Sexy super mutants.
Ripped apart and put back together. I hoped I could find my family, cheat time, make us whole again. The way we were. But now I know. I know I can't go back. I know the world has changed. That the road ahead will be hard. This time, I'm ready. Because I know war.
War never changes.
War never changes.
Damn. Damn. Well, that's it. I am now the leader of the Institute. Sean is dead. And that is the end of Fallout 4 main story quest. Now, obviously, there will be more in future DLCs, but for now, the main story, that's it. That's all there is. That's all she wrote. So I'm going to keep talking for a little bit and kind of talk about some of my favorites, moments from the game and stuff that I wasn't so happy about. And then there'll be a bunch of video footage in the background. Doesn't really have anything to do with what I'm talking about, but it's just because, keep y'all have something to do so you can watch. So overall, I would have to say Fallout 4 for me was a really awesome experience. I definitely put in a lot more time into Fallout 4 than I did into 3, and certainly more than I did New Vegas. Fallout 3, I played all the DLCs. I completed the game, maybe a total 40 hours or so ish. New Vegas, I couldn't get into New Vegas. It just New Vegas to me wasn't as good as Fallout 3. It didn't. I don't know. It just didn't do it for me. Like, I couldn't get into New Vegas, so I only put a couple hours into that. I mean, I'm sure it's a nice game, but I couldn't play it. So maybe one day I'll go back and revisit it, but for now New Vegas is like, that's something I never touched. The game as a whole, I felt the pacing was a little off at times, right? Like I felt like sometimes I would have, a million things I have to do, and there's like this sense of urgency, like, yeah, you gotta do this, you gotta do it, go get this thing so we can teleport to the Institute and we can try and figure out what's going on, And other times it was just like kind of almost boring in a way. There's a few times where I kind of stopped playing for a couple days because I was just kind of bored. Eventually I'd go back to it and I finished the game, but there were some moments where I was just not really drawn into the game at all. The locations on the map in the overworld, like the different places you can visit, a lot of them just felt highly redundant and not particularly interesting places to visit. If you've been to one burned out factory in this game, you've been to pretty much all of them. And that's just kind of the sad truth of it. There's all kinds of places you can't enter, like, in the main part of the Commonwealth, there's all kinds of houses and stuff you can't enter, which makes sense, They can't put a 3D modeling, like, go through and fix up everything in every single house. I mean, that'd be amazing, but it's not going to happen, let's just be honest. So that part is a little bit disappointing, I think. The fact that I wasn't really drawn into the environment as a whole. There are a few really cool areas. Probably my favorite example, beyond anything else, is the glowing sea. The glowing sea is this area that you look at that, and if you didn't know it was Fallout, you would probably be like, oh yeah, that's from Fallout right there. Because just the atmosphere of it, just the level of destruction, the toxic wasteland, this hostile environment, like this is what Fallout should be more about. Like this right here makes me think Fallout. Everything else just makes me think like, yeah, some bad shit happened and things fell apart. Okay, great. But like that area is like beyond anything else in the game. So atmospheric, so cool to just walk around in there. Not a good place to live. I wouldn't recommend putting down real estate out there if you're looking for a place to live. Glowing Sea is probably not it. But it was a very, very cool area, and the quest line to go through there to get Virgil, which is what you see kind of going on here on the video right now. This was probably by far my favorite part of the game, just this area. So cool. So good job on that. That's definitely a high point in this. The redesigned perk tree. There are so many freaking perks and so many levels. I think that's awesome. Because in the other games, right, it got to a point where it was like almost impossible to level up. I remember hitting, I don't know what level in Fallout 3, but like I could not go any possibly higher. This game you can keep on leveling on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever until the end of time, which is cool. So you can get like every single perk if you want to, if you sit there and you go at it for long enough. I think that's really great. You can max out your character and you can be a freaking badass. Speaking about being badass, this is probably one of my biggest critiques of the game, is that this game is way too damn easy. Like, I played on survival difficulty, and I didn't use any mods for about 3/4 of the game, probably. And then I got kind of bored wearing the same armor, so I got a couple mods. But the mods didn't really do much to make the game easier. Just maybe like, it basically allowed me to modify gear that normally couldn't be modded, or would let me equip on extra pieces of armor. So like, for example, you saw me wearing the Courser armor, and you saw like some brown leather armor kind of clipping through it. Like, that's what that was from. Okay, not really much of a big difference in terms of what's going to happen as far as combat goes. The power armor, as cool as it is, I don't like feeling roped into using it like I have to, in a sense. I mean, you don't have to use it, but it makes everything, the game almost expects you to use it in a lot of areas, I think, and I don't like that. And the power armor just makes everything way too easy. I mean, your defense is astronomical, your offensive capabilities are ridiculous, your VATS, chance to hit, and your damage you do from that, everything's just ridiculous. Like, you're like a walking tank. If you think otherwise, then watch the video before this one where it's Airship Down, where I took down the Brotherhood of Steel. Watch that and you'll see how stupidly overpowered the power armor is. Like, I'm sitting there getting shot from 80 directions and my health is just barely ticking down. Like, that's just ridiculous. I know, yeah, I have Prism on my armor, which means, lasers and stuff do a lot less damage, but even still, like, I'm just sitting there face tanking everything, and I don't die. I don't take any damage. So that's definitely a low point, is that the game is way too easy. It would have been nice if they would have carried over some of the stuff from New Vegas, where like you have to eat and like stay hydrated and that kind of stuff to keep alive. Like, that would have been kind of cool. That would have made it a little bit more difficult. Not much more difficult, but a little bit more difficult. I guess just the bottom line is that the power creep in this game is really bad. And whenever I say power creep, it's like, eventually you get to this point where you reign supreme over everything and nothing is going to touch you, nothing's going to hurt you or cause any damage. Even like a skull-faced legendary can be dispatched fairly easily in this game. So that's definitely a low point for this game, is that it's just too easy. So hopefully in future DLCs or updates they'll add some stuff to make it a little more difficult and kind of bring that difficulty back. But for right now, where I'm at, it's too easy. I don't like it. So let's see, what else? Story-wise, the story was pretty good, I have to say. I did like that. Not the best, but it worked for what it was trying to do. It was a good story about either a father or a mother trying to find their son, you know, in this hostile environment. And then you find your son, and you kind of have to go through this, I guess almost like a crisis of faith, where you find your child, but your child isn't really who or what you're expecting your child to be. And so you have to rationalize, okay, should I help this individual even though they're maybe doing some kind of uncouth things, or do I have to pull the trigger and kill my own child? I mean, what do I do here? Kind of a messed up situation. I definitely like how they played that angle, though it was really predictable what was going to happen, right? Like, I knew it from the moment that Sean got taken out of the vault that he was going to end up being a bad guy later on, or something was going to happen. There's going to be some sort of conflict, because that's just classic storytelling, right? So that was like a mile away, you could see that happening. But I like the way that it kind of unfolded, where you hear about the Institute. The Institute is like this mysterious thing, and you know the Institute took him away, but oh yeah, guess what? Now he's in charge of the Institute. He's running the place. So kind of a nice twist, I think. I don't like how you had to pick between the different factions, right? Because the way I went, right, I allied straight with the Institute, which means that the Railroad are my enemies, which fuck them, they're stupid, I'm sorry. Railroad is dumb, okay? Worst faction in this game. They're like completely shallowed, like, we think the Siths should be free and they should have their own choices and they're all people. No, they're not people, they're robots, okay? They're robots. So, Railroad is stupid. The Brotherhood of Steel, they're classic, they're timeless. They've been in like every iteration of this game since the beginning of time. It was definitely an interesting situation to have to end up fighting them and end up against them, because normally you would fight with them, or at least like kind of towards the same goals, even if you weren't directly allied with them. So that's kind of interesting. But yeah, basically the way I went is that the Brotherhood of Steel is wiped out. Paladin Dance is dead. He's dead because, you know, he was Brotherhood of Steel, so he hated me. He's dead now. Deacon's also dead, which, who cares, Deacon, you know. Railroad's dead, so 2 of the 3 main factions are gone. I've read online where you can do a very specific thing where if you go, I think with the Railroad, you're able to also keep the Brotherhood of Steel friendly towards you and not lose them, but the Institute has to die. So I think that's kind of stupid, because like with each choice you lose access permanently to some companions. I'm pretty sure there's probably a way on PC to bring back Paladin Dance or Deacon and like make them like me, but you know, console players don't have that luxury, and I think that's kind of shitty for them, and kind of shitty for people who don't want to have to use console commands or mods just to get back companion characters. On the flip side, though, it's in a way realistic, quote unquote, because obviously, you know, if you killed everything that someone stood for, like say Paladin Dance, I killed Elder Maxon, I killed the airship, I wiped out the Brotherhood of Steel, you know, I doubt he'd be my friend after that, you know, like seriously. So in some ways it's kind of realistic, but in other ways it just kind of complicates things. But yeah, I guess that's about it, guys. I'm also kind of proud of myself because I actually finished this game start to finish, and I shot the episodes for it start to finish. So there's an entire Let's Play series of Fallout 4 on the channel. I'm pretty proud of myself for that, because normally what happens is either I lose interest in it and I stop making the videos, or 2, nobody really watches it and not enough people watch it, so I don't really feel like I should even bother. It's just like a waste of time and electricity and stuff, you know? So I just like, okay, fuck it. So that's good. Like, people actually have been watching it, and I've been getting a few comments here and there, and that makes me feel good. So thank you if you've been watching. Really appreciate it. It's been a really good run. It's been a really good run. So thank you guys so much for checking this out. There will be more Fallout 4 videos in the future. I'm working on one right now for Fort Independence. If you guys saw that video a few weeks back, maybe a month back or so. I'm working on a new one for that. It's like a battle, so that's being worked on. And an end of the year review thing, which I'm currently working on right now, and I hope to get out on the 31st, which is tomorrow. And then I guess that's about it right now. Once more DLC comes out for Fallout, I'll be playing that. And then in the new year, we'll be playing some new stuff. We'll be having some new fun. But thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you guys for watching this, listening to this. I appreciate it a lot. Good luck in the new year, guys, if I don't talk to you before then. But this is actually a good time gaming. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share if you like anything you saw today. And remember to always have a good time gaming.